Hey, good evening, good morning, good night, good evening, however you want to put it. Hey, this is another Transformer review, and with me is...
Colton Dewey's here, which is me.
Which is him. So, and I guess I'm Dad. That works for me. But anyway, hey, today with our Transformer review, we're going to be taking a look at something that was done in the 1980s. And it was a peculiar thing when I even seen it, because I've seen it firsthand myself, and I'm like, that's awfully strange. A good way to go deaf, but you'll see what I mean when we turn the camera around and we get to our review. But it was something that we did in the 1980s, and I still don't understand why, but it's just, it was a part of the culture back then. You could see it on the beach, you could see it on TV shows. People on TV shows even did it. And
also in movies.
Yes, movies, and it's just something that people did in the 1980s.
And it's something that you would play music on.
So, anyway, we're going to check out the next Transformer review, and you'll see what I'm talking about when we go to our review. So we'll see y'all then. So here we are, and like I said, I do not know why people did this in the 1980s, but we did, and it was a culture thing. I didn't do it, but to me it was a good way to go deaf at a very young, quick, early age.
And for today's review, we will be taking a look at the Transformers movie 2007 fast action battler Frenzy, who is that guy.
The big boombox that Optimus Prime's got right next to his ear.
Well, technically it's not really a boombox, it's like a radio.
Yeah, it's a boombox radio. But anyway, in the 1980s, they were just about that big size, and that's exactly what people did. And I don't know why, still to this day. But anyway, they wanted to make sure that they heard the music. And everybody else heard the music.
And like you can see here, Optimus is doing what the people used to do back in the 1980s, where they would put the boombox on their shoulder and listen to some music.
Really loud, and everybody else could hear it too.
And you could see he's doing like a thumbs up.
In other words, he approves. So, without further ado, we're going to take Optimus Prime out the way, and we will be getting to Frenzy.
First, I will have to move the camera down
So,
all the way.
I don't know why people did that, but hey, it was a thing that was done in the 1980s. It was a fad, came and went.
And I will have to move up some. And zoom out some.
So this is the same Frenzy that I'm assuming was in the first Transformers?
Yes.
Where he transformed into the stereo.
Or
A boombox? Radio? One of them.
I would like to call this a radio, because I think this is clearly like a radio, not a boombox.
Wow. So he transformed into this in the movies, and he was on the presidential airplane, right? when he transformed into the radio.
The presidential air.
Yes, the airplane that the president was on. Yes.
Yes.
And this is after he basically got decapitated and had his body, and then he scanned, and then he become a phone, right? And then he scanned again and become a radio. Yeah. That's where this guy falls in.
And he's also part of Barricade's partner.
Little minion.
And also, this is the only frenzy that we got that transforms into the little radio or boombox, however you want to call it. Because none of the other frenzy figures that we got so far transformed into this little radio here. Because some of them are like transformed into a thing to store inside Barricade, like he did in the movie. So this is the only frenzy that we got that transforms into the little radio here.
Off of the 2007 Transformers the movie.
Yes.
Okay. That's where he comes from.
And let's get a zoom in close so we can see some of the details here. And there's like not a whole lot of him in his radio mode. I mean, there is some, like, he does have some black paint on these buttons here, and some black paint here, and a black painted Decepticon symbol here, and another painted in the Decepticon symbol right here. And on the screen here it says Frenzy 97.7.
Interesting. 7.
And he does have the painted in little speakers here. And on the top, he does have some black paint on these things here. And here's the side here. And the back here. And the bottom. And all around, there's not much else to it. But this antenna piece here is on a ball joint, which you could see here.
Yeah, it can just turn. It can't. If you try and make it go all the way up, you'll pop it smooth off of the little ball joint there. So it doesn't go all the way up.
It only goes up to about here.
And it's made out of a bendy, like rubbery material, kind of plastic rubbery. So
I guess you can call it that.
yeah.
But he does have another. Well, he does have a feature. It's only meant for robot mode, but I'll go ahead and show it to you in radio mode. and that is he does have this button on the back here, and when you push it, it will shoot out this disc thing. And this is what is called like a little
spinning blade disc that has sharp edges on it. Well, not really. I mean,
I would like to call this a little shuriken.
a shuriken.
And it does have some teal paint on it on both sides.
A CD of death. Yes, that's what you would call it, I guess, in radio mode. I don't know.
And you can put it back in, and the button on the back will slide back out.
Okay, so it'll reset.
And when you have this inserted back in, it kind of looks like a little volume thing where if you want to turn it up or turn it down, you would spin this piece around. But it doesn't spin by itself. It's just in a fixed position due to the gimmick.
Yeah. Or you could see it as a CD player. So, either way.
Or a CD player.
So, anyway,
I think that's pretty much it for his radio mode.
radio mode looks pretty good. I say they did a good job.
So, let's transform him.
Let's transform him. Now, I don't know how to transform him. Colton does that.
So to transform him, you want to take, well, you do need to take the antenna here and rotate it this way.
Oh.
But you do want to take this side of the radio and untap it. And you also want to separate the radio in half. And you do want to bring these around so it looks like this. And this side here has two little pegs that will go into two holes here.
Okay.
Now, first gotta get my camera situated here. Now what you're gonna do is you do want to come to the bottom here and well, this side here, you're gonna separate these things here, and there we go. You just want to separate this part here from this side and bring it out and bring what will become his elbow down. And then you do the same on the other side here. Now for this side here, you're going to take this piece here and bring it up. And now you're going to take, well, but before you do some with what will become his leg, you do want to take this piece here, bring it up, and this peg will go into that hole right there. Now you want to take his leg, untap it, and bring it all the way down so it looks like that. But for this side here, you do of course want to separate his leg here from this half here, what was the little speaker part, and then you want to bring this all the way up. Now you're going to take this part here and this entire piece here and bring it all the way up, and this hole here will go into what was the button where you shoot out the little shuriken blade and tap it in, and then you just take the other leg and bring it all the way down so they look like this, and then you just bring his arms down. And for this antenna piece here, you can have it up like this, or you can rotate it down so it looks like this. However you want to display it. I like to have it up so it looks like that. And to reveal his face, you just want to push on this back part here, and his face will extend out and this flat piece will fold down. So it looks like this. And to show you on the front, there's his face. And you're done. So now, let me try and get him stand up.
Out of all the frenzies that I've seen, this is about the most disproportionate one I've ever seen. Because he's just all over the place.
Right.
He is just all over the place here and there, and it's he's definitely got a weird look to him. I think the only thing that you can tell is frenzy is his face. Definitely not the body.
Yes.
Yeah, he's pretty dysfunctional. He's just like all over.
And I'm not a fan of how his robot mode looks.
His radio mode looks awesome compared to his robot mode. His robot mode looks like something that he come out of the junk pile with.
but it is movie accurate, of course. But I still just don't really care for it. And like I said from the beginning of the video, that this is like the only Frenzy figure that we have. The other ones are for Barricade, but this is like the only official release of a transformable Frenzy that we're close to getting.
That was in stereo mode. That was in stereo mode.
But the only thing that does look like cool on him, which is movie accurate, is of course his face here. And the only problem that I have with his face is that his eyes are painted red when they're supposed to be blue, like they were in the movie. Because in the movie, his eyes were blue, but here they just changed it to red.
He definitely looks. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of one of them walkers. He kind of looks like one of them droids off of Star Wars. What was it? Return of the Jedi? Yeah, where they're going through the jungle and stuff like that. That's what this bottom half reminds me of. He's all over the place. It looks like he come out of a junk pile somewhere, and there's nothing really atomically correct about him. I mean, you know, he definitely looks like an alien robot that is confused himself. I don't know, you know. He's that looks really bad.
But in the movie, he looked great in the movie. But here...
Now, if I'm right, in the movie, we never did see him transform out of the stereo into Frenzy, right? We never did see that.
We actually did see him
transform into the stereo, but we never seen him. Did they show him actually transform out of the stereo into the robot mode?
Yes.
But he didn't look like this. He looked like the regular Frenzy, right?
No, he looked like this.
Did he?
In the movie.
I have to go back and look at it. Okay.
But in the movie, he looked way better.
Okay.
But here, he just looks like a mess.
Yeah, he looks like... I'm not going to say it. That thought just popped in my head. Don't say it. Okay.
And I guess you can call these like hands, even though you can see here he does have some sculpted in fingers here, but then they added this part here, and it's like, what's going on here?
That's a get me gotcha claw there, I guess. I don't know. It's
But he does have some nice painted in details here on the sides of his chest here.
I mean, I just even the backside. It's just that's look like lift up the arms, go up some. That's just whoa. That's chicken legs there.
Yes,
Whoa.
he does have the chicken legs, like we saw before in the other movie Transformers characters, and some of the not so movie Transformers characters. And he does have this thing that's jutting out on the back. But there is a reason why this is jutting on the back. And I'll show you that when we get to the features. And he does have some more nice sculpted detail on him, but the rest of it is not picked out in paint. The only ones that are picked out in paint are on the sides of his chest here, and also his face. Although I wish his eyes were painted blue like they were in the movie instead of red. But for articulation, his head doesn't do anything. But his arms can rotate all the way around, move in and out. And I guess you can call this an elbow joint, which does bend. And this part here does move, of course. Which is like...
That's a catch me grabber.
I guess a claw. But he does have ball joints at the legs. And he doesn't have any knee articulation, but he can swivel at the knee. Here. And that's it.
See, it's even a hard time trying to balance him.
Yes, he does also have some balancing issues.
It's not that you can't balance him, it's just, whoa, he's got a forward lean now, but, I mean, it's, yeah, he's just all over the place.
And he doesn't come with any accessories, but he still does have that shuriken gimmick, except to launch it in robot mode, you have to push on this part here, which will push the button and shoot out the little shuriken. Except this time, you have to shoot it out from his chest here. You can see there.
Yay! Spinning blade of death. Shuriken. So, I don't even know where to start with this this so-called Transformer frenzy. It's off the Michael Bay toy line. I mean, Transformers toy line. Come from Michael Bay the movie, Transformers the movie. So that's where this thing originated from, and I just, like I said, it's very weird.
But his only saving grace for him is, of course,
His face. That's the only thing, huh? No.
is of course the radio mode.
The radio.
Because the radio mode is the only part of this figure that looks great. But his robot mode, well,
The radio.
in the movie where Frenzy appeared in, he looked really cool. But this figure from the Fast Action Battler line is not so good. And another thing that I forgot to tell you about the Fast Action Battler line is that they're a line made for the younger audiences.
Yeah, this is some of the stuff like the toaster. The toaster that transformed. Like the toaster and the cell phone and the binoculars and the PlayStation controller that looked like the PlayStation
Yes.
controller. He's off of that subline series where a bunch of stuff that we used every day would transform into. Were they all Decepticons?
Well,
They didn't have-
some of them were Decepticons, some of them were Autobots.
Yeah. But we didn't see the Autobots. We only seen the We only seen the bad guys. Bad guys who transformed. And if I'm right, there's a soda machine that transformed.
Yes.
Yes, it's come back to me now.
But for the figure here, the robot mode, like I said, for this figure from the Fast Action Battler line is
You look
No.
ugly.
not great. And another thing
Short.
that he does have a problem with is he does have some balancing issues.
Yeah, he's got a lot of problems. You got a lot of issues, baby. A lot. You just ugly too. So,
So that's about it. So there you have it. The Transformers movie 2007 Fast Action Battler Frenzy.
and I'm not lying about the boombox deal, because you just have to ask Generation X, and they'll tell you. And they'll tell all the younger ones, yes, that was a thing back then in the 1980s. And I still don't know why, but hey. It was a fad that come and went, like a lot of other things.
And if you like this video, give us a like, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you want to check out some other videos you may have missed, there's a playlist set up on my YouTube channel.
So, hey, we appreciate y'all. We will see y'all next time. Y'all hang tight. Hang around.
And that's about it. So, thanks for watching.